So happy to announce that is going to be Pathfinder Abomination Vaults, which will be our next novel. This one comes out in November. This one is going to feature the iconic wizard, Ezrin, and a band of locals, as opposed to a team of his usual iconic friends, who are going to delve deep beneath the ground, not in the vault lines, but in the Abomination vaults. So no confusion there whatsoever. It's just this use of the same word in the same month in two different products.
Different vaults. Both for my birthday.
They said we weren't allowed to do any more products with hell in the title, so we switched it up.
So we went back to vaults. Yep. Yeah.
And here we are. Hail and well met. Welcome to the Dungeon Scrawlers for episode 21 of our Abomination Vaults Delve. Well. It turns out that there might be a reason that I'm running Abomination Vaults, other than it being such a cool adventure path, which it definitely is.
Hey, Eric, what would that reason be?
Oh, that reason would be probably the thing you just saw, which is that I wrote the novelization of the Abomination Vaults adventure path, which is coming out in November of this year. It is not this story. So it's not like Paizo saw our stream and said, hey, this DB guy's got the sauce. Let's have him write this book. No, I wrote the book before the stream. This has always been the case. It is a trap. You unlocked my trap card, and my trap card is a great novel that's coming out in November. So it will have some of the NPCs who show up in this adventure path. Paizo insisted on a team of locals rather than a team of established Pathfinders. You saw that in the announcement. Ooh. So that means that some of the NPCs who you, audience and chat and players probably think of as, this person's just background dressing. They're like main characters in the novel. So yeah, it's going to be cool. And those author's notes that are occasionally appearing in the novel, those are by the author of this particular stream, who is the main character of the novel. So
now you'll have to go back and watch every episode over again to recontextualize all those authors' notes.
Fortunately, there's a very easy and convenient playlist for that. And also, you should come and join our Discord, because we talk about this campaign and others, and you can get all kinds of information there. I'm on the Discord. Ask me anything. Okay. Eric's got to be DM of this campaign and others on the Dungeon Scrawlers. I also write novels. I wrote a novel. I feel like I already said all this. Take it away, Gabrielle.
I'm Gabrielle Harboe. I am Eric's literary agent, and I have known about this, and we are extremely, extremely excited to be able to finally announce it. Thank you, Paizo, for putting it on their stream right before this stream and allowing the cat out of the bag, or the displacer beast out of the bag, or what have you. I play Mauricio, the iconic elf rogue, and I am also a literary agent, writer, author, editor person, and you can find my Patreon in the doobly-doo with ! Gabrielle. And I'm going to stop talking now. Off to you, Ben.
Hello, I am Benjamin, a video game industry person who has been privileged to join these much more writery types that just fill my life with joy. And I've known Eric for, God, how long has it been, Eric? It's been like 15 years?
Let's see.
2009, wasn't it?
I was definitely in
Whatever that
in
math
the
is.
house that it would have been 2009, so that'd be 17 years.
Hey, cool math, love it. And let me tell y'all, if you haven't read one of his books, like I've been the delightful recipient of his literary delights for years, and I keep coming back for more. So dip that toe in, and you'll get addicted, or something like that. I don't know, metaphor. But you know what else
Love
is
you
really
too,
addicting?
Ben. Thank you.
You're welcome. You know what else is really addicting? Buying dice. Because, in this world where most warriors use plastic light weapons, Norse Foundry's got special dice, metal dice. And when you roll them, it feels like you're like smashing like the armor of the monster board. And Norse Foundry they offer other cool stuff and gaming accessories, and you can find them at their store and more about them at norsefoundry.com. Take it away, Fable.
Hello, my name is Fable. I am a story and a purveyor thereof. I've been stuck now in the thought of putting a displacer beast in a bag of holding, and what that would do other than get fantasy ASPCA after you. But the secrets of the Arcana aside, I'm a LARP director of Dystopia Rising. I am a storyteller and have been for several years, and for tonight, I will be your iconic cleric Kira. If you are here from Idle Champions, put exclamation point code in the chat to get your code. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms is a strategy game. It features Dungeons & Dragons characters from novels, campaigns, popular shows, and if you're joining us from the Brimstone Angels novels, then Farida, Havilar, and Mehin are in there, and in the Dragonlance novel, Raistlin is going to be in soon. According to Gabrielle, who has gotten into this somewhat recently, it will take over all of your life and focus, which is good. You should do that. You're already giving us your attention. Why not a little bit more? Give me your attention.
I'm adding the code on my phone as we speak.
This game is available for PC, Mac. As you can see, the phone, iPhone, Android, PlayStation, Xbox, Epic Games Store, iPad, and all that good stuff. If you want any more information, go over to idlechampions.com. That's IDLE champions.com. Kelsey, take it away.
Hi, I'm Kelsey. Let's see. I think I've known Eric since 2019. If we're saying how long we've known him. Which, geez, that was last year, right?
Yeah.
Everyone, that was last year, right?
Well, it was in the before times. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, part-time artist, full-time cryptid. I will be playing the iconic cleric Sela, who has some questions for some druids, so let's see how that goes. Also, just in case I screw up any rolls, I have my Phoenix dice waiting in the wings. Phoenix dice is named for the creature that rises from the ashes because they use all recycled material for their dice. They're always designing and testing multiple types of recycled materials for your enjoyment, raising dice from the ashes and onwards towards epic adventures. You can find their dice accessories at phoenixdice.com. And while we can't guarantee they always roll crits, this seems to be one of the few things that gets by my dice curse, and I have rolled 2 successes on 22 dice. So when I say I have a dice curse, I mean it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, if you are here from the Paizo stream, they tried to raid us about an hour ago, and we weren't live yet. So, thanks for coming back or hanging out until we did go live. And that is very decent of you, and I very much appreciate it. And if that describes you, post in the chat so I can shout you out on the channel, and maybe name an NPC after you in the adventure path. Warning: you probably will die very shortly after being introduced, but I will still do it. Okay.
But not before he has one of our characters romance you very briefly.
Very briefly. Intensely, but briefly. Okay.
Whirlwind.
Add which character you want to romance you to boot.
Yes, we are taking requests. You cannot have Amiri Or can you? No, you can't. The Barbarian is out for today because Jen just got back from a con and has a little bit of crud. I'm sure we can all relate. So, in the
It's
meantime,
Rin. Everybody wants to romance Rin. It's fine.
yeah, everyone's like, can I romance one of the NPCs? I'm like, come on. I know it's Rin, obviously.
It's
Okay,
Rin.
so the party, when last we left off, had returned to Otari, and you were kind of reconnecting and kind of resting after your endeavors. And now that you have done that and you've had a long rest and everything is reset, Amiri is off hanging out with Rin doing something that will be revealed later, but she did deliver some kind of garbled message to you about what was going on before she left. And keep in mind that Amiri is not an expert on magic or mysticism or seances of any kind. So I believe I gave you suggestions of what she might have said, but I will leave it to you to improvise what you got from her. Okay, let's put on the Otari music and go to work. Oh, I made it way too loud. Sorry about that. Okay, there we go. So, the party has split into a couple of pairs in order to do some important stuff, follow up on some clues that you found in the dungeon, and your adventuring. In fact, what I believe are the pairs are Sela and Kira heading up to go talk to the druids, and Mariziel, who has returned after doing her thing, and Ezrin. I think we should probably start with Mariziel and Ezrin because Gabrielle wasn't here last time, and maybe Mariziel will tell us a little bit about what she was doing. I left it very vague, and Gabrielle had given me like instructions, but I was too busy and missed it. So I'm gonna give Gabrielle a chance to tell us all now what was going down. However much Mariziel would want to tell us.
Well, it's too late now.
Okay.
Forever a mystery.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Mariziel's like, no, I shall die with my secrets, and so shall you.
Well, yes, but also, yeah.
So are we, sorry, what I would say is, Gabrielle, I don't know if you like caught it, but I think that we ended where I was like in the bookstore with my wizardly and hunky friends, like talking about the Rose Guard's like tome. And they were like, yes, you can look at it. And that's where we cliffhanger cut. So do you want to like let me know how you hook back up with me?
Yeah.
I will say that Amiri said that you were looking for me. We passed on the path to Rin's, and that you had something for me. So of course you're at the bookstore. So I'll come track you down there.
Okay, cool.
Where would Ezrin be? Let me take a wild guess.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Hunky man, nerdy spot. I mean, why would I ever leave?
I mean, it's kind of full circle because our first real moment of connection was you deeply wanting that book enough to actually steal it, and how that made you feel.
Okay, so set the scene for me. So I'm there talking to them. How do you enter it?
Through the window. No, through the front door. I mean, there's in character and then there's ridiculous, right?
Sure. Okay.
So I enter through the front door.
I imagine there's like a little bell. Like,
if there is a little bell, it is silent.
Ah, okay. Well, then Ezrin wouldn't even notice you because he's got the tome and he's like, yes. And he would immediately begin pouring, like sort of pouring into it and seeing what he can glean from like a skim.
So you're turning pages. Are you seated? Are you standing at the display case? Right. You know, have you bothered to sit down?
No, we had been seated. I assume they have like a library reading table, like sort of a situation. I had actually brought.
There are several tables. There's one that's covered over in books and stuff. It's kind of hard to sit there, but yeah, they do have.
Yeah, we'd cleared away some room to have a little brunch moment, which has clearly been eaten. And yes, this book is laid out, and I'm gingerly, delicately, respectfully, but excitedly and quickly like paging through this book to be like, what is here? Because I have a hunch that this book might have either like secrets about the barrier we need to get by, or it has like notes about the dungeon that will help us maybe not trigger so many traps and shenanigans and BS. And so I am just absorbed in this book.
Oh, well. I don't even have to do a stealth check then.
Correct.
I put my finger to my lips and wave at the booksellers and just come around behind you and read over your shoulder and see how long it takes you to notice me.
I will say, well,
a shadow falls across the page after a while of you being oblivious. Let's put it that way.
Got it. Okay.
There's no challenge in sneaking up on an oblivious man, unfortunately.
That's true.
Yeah, she's only gonna wait so long before, you know, she may live a long life, but still.
Yes. I think that my appropriate action would be like, oh God, oh, hi, oh, you're back. I have so much to tell you. Oh my God, it's well, and then there's, okay, but what we talked about and
good book?
I don't know yet, but I'm so excited. And I was like, oh, actually, sorry. And I would turn to the friends and we were like, you don't have to leave, but like, sorry, I just asked you, do you mind, can I have a moment? And so Eric, I don't know if they decide to leave or whatever they do, but
oh, the lads?
Yes.
Yeah, Carl is like,
the book lads.
Hey, moral event. Moral. Yeah, I'll take care of it. And he just kind of like picks up moral event and he's like, oh, yes, okay. And he keeps reading while he's over Carl's shoulder as he carries him out.
I was like, okay, so I have something for you. It's a bit of a surprise, but before I give it to you, I want to know, would it ruin the surprise if I told you that I didn't steal it?
I don't know.
I did have to work for it very hard, but I didn't steal it.
Now I'm worried about what and where it might be.
And with that, I'll sort of like reach into my pocket and I will pull out the shadowy lockpicks.
Okay.
And I will just put them on the table in front of you and just go.
Ooh, what do they look like?
Okay, so they are an old-fashioned style of lockpicks that date from before even Maurizio was born.
Whoa.
You can recognize a lot of the kind of like modern effects and updates, like to put it in gamer terms, quality of life updates to how the lockpicks are organized. But these look different. They're always kind of, they look like they're wet, like Ezrin was holding them in a glass of water, but they're not damp to the touch. And in fact, when you reach for them, your shadow falls across them, and when the shadow nudges them, they move slightly.
Whoa.
See? Okay, so I studied them and...
Tell me everything.
Yes, okay. So you can use these lockpicks using your shadow from afar.
What?
Yes. Go ahead, try. See, and I'll like pull a lantern over so that it's casting strong shadows. See if you can like, I don't know, pick them up with your shadow. I'm not sure that's exactly how they worked, but like I can sense the magic. It's sort of like Mage Hand, but shadowy. What?
Has Maurizio already picked him up?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
That would be pretty funny, though.
It would be pretty funny. Okay.
All right. So the first thing that Maurizio does is she reaches into one of her many pouches and pockets and pulls out a tumbler with a keyhole. Just a padlock. Just a normal padlock.
Yep. Just easy practice.
I mean, if you're gonna investigate lockpicks, you've got to see them in use, right?
Right.
So then she'll take her hand and put it in front of the lamp and make a couple little shadow animals. And then have like a shadow bird try to pick up the lockpick with its beak.
Yes. In fact, your shadow can indeed affect the lockpicks. And you can
That's amazing.
And move them.
Cool. Okay, so that is like that. So it's like, I don't think it's quite shadow magic because, or it's not quite telekinesis. Well, I mean, clearly it is shadow magic, but go on. Like, do they, I don't know if they like make it easier or whether they're just like really niche.
Okay, so I'll put the lock on the table so that the keyhole is in shadow and try to manipulate the lock picks with the shadows of my hands to open the lock. And this is a lock that I know very well how to open.
So this is not the lock of thievery that you have in your
This is not. This is just a normal lock.
Normal lock. Okay. Lock of thievery is a real challenge because it changes every time it's relocked.
That would be different, but of course she's got other locks on her person, so.
The lock of thievery is, I like to see the lock of thievery as like an elven rogue fidget tool because it is always different every time. So there's endless variety and entertainment out of it. But this is just a common lock that you know how to pick pretty easily. So you don't even have to make a check. Okay.
It's a starter lock.
Yes. Sure enough, you could manipulate the lockpicks as though they were in your hand to pick the lock from a distance. It's not a very far distance. The lantern is not shedding all that much light. It's about like a 5-foot distance.
Okay.
However, you do think that if you were, if a very strong sort of light cast your shadow at a distant wall next to a door, you could theoretically do it from a distance, but it would take a very strong source of light.
Gosh, I wonder where we would find.
I wonder where we would find one of those.
You might be walking around with one. Who knows?
I mean, nobody we know.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So
and you found this in the dungeon.
I did. By the way,
in the vault.
Don't break it. It's the key to our entire adventure.
Oh, no pressure.
Right. But also, so is this book. Right. I didn't tell you. It came from the body of Otari.
Otari.
Would you like to mess with Ezrin slightly?
Always.
Okay. Yeah. Maurizio goes, Otari, snap. Just kidding. The lockpicks
just kidding. Sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand.
Yeah.
And he just sort of like moves the book in front of him a little closer.
Way. Yeah.
Cute. So as I was saying, it's the I don't know if they call it regalia or artifacts, but the implements of each of the Rose Guard, they use them to bind Belcora in the dungeon, and in order for us to reach her, we will need all of them to get there. Otari told me this. It's really fascinating. I need to research more of it, but he gave me permission to remove these from his corpse because he's a ghost, and we chatted. Yeah.
You forgot to add that part. That makes it'll make a little more sense now.
Sorry, I'm just real excited.
You are real excited.
Um,
I've snuck into your room when you had company and you were not this excited. Not without your knowledge. That was that time that we talked. It's fine.
I recall, and I like glance over to make sure that my bookstore friends are not in here.
Of course they're not. I have standards of decency.
I know you're a woman of
believe it or not.
Are you going to give her the dagger as well?
Why, yes, thank you for reminding me.
Okay, cool.
So, and I'll be like, okay, so that was the most important thing, and I think that
now I've picked them up and I'm examining them with my actual hands.
Yeah. But, so like, I don't think any one of us should have all 4 of them. That seems like it's risky. It's like having all of your cash in like one place. So I think that we should distribute that among all of us. So I'm giving it to you for safekeeping. Oh yeah, by the way, I found this too. And I hand her the dagger.
Okay, so Ezrin produces the most wicked-looking weapon you've ever seen Ezrin holding. It is a curved dagger that looks kind of like a snake's fang, and it has a serpent like facing the opposite direction as its handle. Otari referred to this as his serpent dagger.
Oh yeah, that was Otari's too, but like it doesn't do anything with the barrier, so I mean, I don't know, maybe it's useful. And Eric,
well, if skin is a barrier, I'm sure it does plenty.
Gross, but accurate. Eric, did I also cast Identify on the dagger? Is the dagger magical?
Yes, you know what both of those things are. The Thieves' Tools are the Shadowed Thieves' Tools. They do like what I explained. And the dagger is, the Serpent Dagger is basically a dagger of venom. It can produce poisons when you're using it in combat.
And I would explain that as I'm handing it over. I was like, right, so I mean, like, don't cut yourself, but you wouldn't do that. I'm the one that's worrying about cutting myself with it, but I assume that's useful, right?
That is, I don't know how to thank you for these gifts.
Essentially what happens with the dagger is that you can invoke its power with a bonus action to magically coat the dagger with poison. Poison remains in effect, it remains there on the dagger for 1 minute or until you hit a creature with the dagger. In that case, it does a DC 15 con save, or it takes 2d10 poison damage and is poisoned for 1 minute.
Nice.
You can only do that once a day. It recovers at the next dawn.
Ezrin like takes a deep breath as if to explain something about poison, and then visibly catches himself and is silent.
Merciel just kind of smiles softly, like it's so cute when humans. That's the whole sentence. It's so cute when humans.
That's a fair point.
I have had an adventure as well.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. I'm just so distracted by this book. Please, where did you go?
I've never lied to Kira. But
Hold on, before you say anything. There was a saying that my mother always used to say, which was, everything you say before the word but is a lie.
No.
Okay, just checking. Continue.
No, it is true. I've never lied to Kira, but I have presented her my assumptions as if they are true sometimes because I don't want to worry her. And one of those assumptions may have been that extra abilities that I found myself with in the below were totally fine and normal, and it turns out that they are, but I didn't actually know that yet. So I went to Rin to ask her about strange new things that I can do and make sure that they are not malevolent in origin.
I mean, Rin seems incredibly capable, but is there a reason you wouldn't ask me? Was it?
You were dealing with a lot.
Nothing's more important than all of you.
I never had a mother to give me advice, but here's the thing that I know is true. You cannot pour from an empty cup.
Fair point. As someone who did have a mother who gave me advice that was terrible, and who managed and manipulated me for years, I found that transparency and honesty, even if it's difficult, is usually less painful in the long run. I know you've got so much time on me and so much experience, but I don't know.
Merciel's thinking, side note, that escalated quickly.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
She reaches out and takes your hand and says, I understand. You had your own burdens. You were not okay. I'm talking to you now. I've come to find you now.
Yeah, people are allowed to take time. I just forget it. It's fine. You're here.
We will not forget it, but we will learn from it.
Man, a lot has happened.
A lot has happened. Well, she just reaches back like she's going to take one of her daggers and lifts her hand, and it's a shimmering, not quite shadow of a dagger.
Fascinating. So that was not a spell, and Ezrin is sort of like looking all around it and is like just absentmindedly takes out his notebook, starts like jotting some things down. How? I could see why you might be concerned about that. It's impressive. What is it? Can Ezrin like detect any sort of like magical energies on it, or sort of like see any weave?
Make an Arcana check.
All right.
While he's making the Arcana check, author's note: that dagger of venom right there is not like my editor advised me not to put that in the book, but it was a very important aspect of the real world delve into the Abomination Vaults, and so that is why it is there. You will not find it in the 5e module. You have to be an old school fan to know that it's there.
Yes. Ezrin got an 8.
Nice.
I'm imagining that he's like book, dagger, another dagger, spirit dagger, lockpicks, like
it doesn't
slug creatures. There's a lot on his mind.
It's not a kind of magic that you're immediately familiar with. Like, it is conjured from inside Mariziel. You didn't see her cast any spells. She didn't pull out a scroll. She's not a wizard. She just created this dagger out of her head, basically.
Yeah, detect magic probably wouldn't notice it because it's not magic, it's psychic.
Right.
Wow. That's... Well, I guess you were right. If you had come to me, I'd had nothing for you. So sorry about that.
And she looks for a safe place in the room that she can throw it without damaging anything, and probably doesn't see any.
Well, and I think he would see you look at her and be like, wait, you can't just release it?
Here. She takes the blade and slides it along her sleeve. Leather sleeve, not skin, just leather sleeve. And it makes an impression. And then she banishes it. And it disappears.
Yeah, it just disappears.
So what did Rin say about it then?
She said that the vault may have unlocked something that was already within me. But it is not a trap. It is not a curse. It is a new way of using my mind. And I can do a couple other things with my mind as well.
You know, I take it back. I'm glad I said something because at least now I think we all like Sela, Goo thing, this Belcora getting in my head. We have got to tell each other when these sort of things might be happening, and I'm overjoyed that this is an awakening of something that was already within you, but we have got to watch out for each other because this place is going to play tricks with our minds.
And it's changing us.
Yes.
Or we're changing ourselves, and we can't know. I had visions. I had visions in there.
Yeah.
You too?
Well, visions of a very angry, powerful, dead woman screaming in my mind and taking over my body for briefest of instants. So yeah.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, no, it was not pleasant. I'm a little spooked by it, to be honest. But
you met a ghost and weren't spooked by that.
He was really disarming, if I may say, in a multitude of ways. But
you disarmed him. She takes the dagger and waves it, apparently.
It's true. But the thing...
And then she puts it away because that's really sharp and it might have poison on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, let's talk more about this at some point. But yes. I imagine you might want to go see Kira.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mauricio, that dagger is of a very unusual shape, and it doesn't easily fit into any of your scabbards.
I may have to get one made. An excuse for more leather. Darn.
It is your aesthetic.
I should leave you to your book, perhaps. See what you can glean.
Yeah, I don't mean to be rude. It's just I think I'm glad to see you. Thank you for coming. I've given you what you need. And yeah, I'm gonna check this out and I'll come find you all a little bit later, okay?
Okay. I'm glad you're all right.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm glad you're okay too.
I will not sneak out the window. Alas.
Did you think about it for a second though?
You can see her sizing up the windows. As if deciding whether to take the window to the roof, to the next roof, to down the street. But no, she just goes out the door. But this time you see her silence the bell with her hand.
Yes. And then before we depart, Eric, I'll just say, if now is the time, I would love to know if there is anything that I get out of this book.
Oh, yes.
I can copy in, things like that. We can do that later, though, if that's more thematically.
Well, I will tell you a little bit about it. So yes, Ezrin, you have begun your study of this book, but Mauricio's arrival kind of interrupted you before you were too deep into it. So you return to it. Zarmavdian Spellbook, The Thresholds of Truth. You think it was once a straightforward treatise on arcane and occult lore, containing potentially useful spells, but it's so annotated and cross-referenced over the centuries that sometimes by Mortal Bent, sometimes by other scholars, sometimes by Zarmavdian themselves, unclear. The original text is difficult to discern in many places. It's clear that Zarmavdian was interested in preventing eldritch creatures from manipulating innocent minds, which is a theme that you have definitely gravitated toward for obvious reasons. Yes, Kelsey asked in the group chat, is what I said to indicate that Zarmavdian's gender is unclear? Yes, that is what I mean. Zarmavdian's gender is a bit unclear. Otari used both he and they when you were talking. So, okay. It's clear that Zarmavdian was interested in preventing all eldritch creatures from manipulating innocent minds, but the information is a treasure trove for those seeking to expand their knowledge into dangerous or inscrutable realms. The spellbook itself isn't magical, but it does contain a number of spells. And I will add this to your character sheet, and you can review it at your leisure.
Nice.
Thank you.
Okay. So, basically, it's a tome of esoteric and occult lore, as well as spellbooks. Like, you are feeling a little bit like a Cthulhu wizard using it, but not too terribly. Just a smidge as a treat. Okay. We are going to cut over to Sela and Kiera. All right. Well, ladies, you have a quest errand of your own. And what is that thing that you are doing?
Sela needs to go speak with the druids outside of town.
Right. Yes, Sela had a harrowing experience in the wolf cave in the Abomination Vaults.
Yeah, just, I just have a couple of questions, and I feel like the druids might be the people most likely to have answers. And this may be a time-sensitive issue, so we're just gonna go talk to them now,
Kiera, I'm gonna assume that you have checked over Sela's wounds, and you healed any damage, but you might, like, whether there is some kind of disease or curse, like lycanthropy, for instance, you don't know. It's hard to tell. It's kind of beyond your particular scope of experience.
That would turn this into a very different book.
Yeah, I imagine that throughout the process of it, when they had gotten up and before they had gotten moving, definitely acting as a bit of an apothecary and checking out the wounds, but then once realizing that, like, I could look over this, but I won't have certainty. But we do know some people who have dealt with werewolves and lichens specifically. We should probably talk to them.
And this is nothing to worry about. It's going to be fine.
Yes, it will be fine. This is why I'm coming with you. Both because I think in the future, it would be good for me to be able to recognize and learn from this. And the other, if things go sideways, we will be more fine.
Excellent. Yeah. Because also we do know there is theoretically a werewolf on the loose in this area, so even if those were just really big normal wolves, this is probably something we should know how to identify.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, so the Stone Ring Pond is north of the village of Otari. And as you might recall, and I'll just remind the chat, it is a haven for druids and rangers and any who are not terribly comfortable inside a city to kind of like take haven there while they're doing business in the area. It has a rotating cast of people who live there, but the main person who is there right now and typically was there when you first arrived is
Warlewin.
Warlewin, that's right. Thank you.
We had a brief talk with her.
Yes, she is a gnome druid. Where's my... I know I have a picture of her somewhere. I'm just going to put it in there when I can find it. Okay, yeah, and she is there. She's ministering to somebody who seems to have been injured, actually. They're grunting and cursing and lying there propped up against the stone rings of the pond. Would you like
I
to
think
interact
that probably
in some way?
activates healer response
I thought it
of
might. I thought it might.
of
Yeah.
like
Mhm. Yeah.
and kind
Mhm.
of double march up there.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Sela seems to be mostly totally casual, but you know, she's kind of just tapping the pommel of her mace or just like her belt a lot. She's fine.
Mhm.
She's not nervous. But yes, someone to help. Let's go.
Right. As they approach, Kira will moving swiftly initially, but slowing a bit more as getting close. Demorlwin, is everything all right?
Ah, Kira. Of course.
Yes.
Good. That's so good that you're here. Would you help me for a moment? This poor fool got himself stuck by a wild boar when he was out hunting. And the man's like, it came right out of the bush. And she's like, shush, we're helping you. We don't need to listen to you. She looks at you like long suffering.
Need me to help hold him steady?
No, I think Lady Kira and I can handle it. Thank you. And then the guy goes, and Morlowin looks back over to Sela and is like, okay, maybe, yeah.
Just shove.
Dude.
It's all right, buddy. They got you.
There's definitely the moment of the first time that a hand comes out and just like pushes towards Kira that like the eyes go slightly dead and meet Sela's of like, please. But
we're gonna play a little game called "You Keep Your Hands to Yourself," no matter how much it hurts.
Yes,
there
Fable,
is...
thank you for finding the art for me. I'm gonna put that in the chat. Okay, on the stream. All right.
There's an immediate move to assist. Well, it is always nice to be useful. Are you beyond this? Looking down at already pulling out bandages. Do you have space for a potentially worrying conversation?
A consultation, if you will.
Lady Kira, half the conversations I have are potentially worrying. How can I help you? All right, so that's just an art I took from D&D Beyond, by the way. Just letting people know it's not like an official art of this character. Who can say what she really looked like? Author's note. I can say what she really looked like. I grew up with her in this town. I'm from here. End of author's note. I just cut that shit off. Okay.
There is a beat as as they're working on it, kind of like looking down and pressing hands to the guy, and looks back up at Orlowin and over at Sela. I do not necessarily think that this would be a conversation for company.
Oh. Well, let's fix Mr. Shot Myself in the Stomach here. And then we'll get right to it. And she just yank, and he goes, oh, yeah, that feels better. It feels better. And she says, okay, well, if you don't want this to happen again, if you don't want this to happen again, be a better hunter. And he's like, yeah, we'll do, tiny lady. Thank you.
Burned hand learns best.
All right. Some moments later, you're standing by the stone ring pond. And Morlowint has leaped up onto one of the stones so that she's more or less level with your faces. And she says, now then, how can I help you?
So, what do werewolves look like exactly? Like,
That's
I realized I didn't know
question.
that. Like, I assume at some point they look like a normal person, whatever they looked like before the lycanthropy, but then they have some kind of transformation. Is it just like normal human body, weirdly off-putting wolf head? Sort of like half man, half wolf, beast man thing? Or is it just like a really big wolf?
Interesting. Well, let's see. So, werewolf. Author's note. This is an interesting language digression that she's about to go into, and our language doesn't quite match exactly the language that you are reading this text in. But were originally means man. And so werewolf means man-wolf. It is a man who can turn into a wolf. Were and wife, or were and whiff, actually originated at the same time in your hopelessly backward gendered language. End of author's note. So that's where the term comes from, Orlewind is saying. It means a person who can turn into a wolf, and vice versa. Not a wolf who can turn into a person. That is a wolf were, actually. Author's note. I got nothing for this. End of author's note.
I didn't know that was an option. Okay.
Yes. They can take two different forms, in fact. A giant wolf, often considered a dire wolf. It is of the appropriate size and definitely the appropriate fierceness. And also a hybrid wolf man, like a man covered in fur with fangs and claws and rippling muscles.
I think I've seen some etchings.
She seems a little into this description, actually.
Would there be a way of identifying between the bite of a werewolf and the bite of, say, a normal wolf, other than like, oh, that's big, I guess, wait for the next full moon and see if you're boned?
Make a persuasion check, please.
As Kira puts her hand on Sila's shoulder, there is a moment where she looks across. This is relevant to previous conversations that we have had. So
22.
Okay, Warlewin's insight is not high enough. She's like, oh, this is an interesting hypothetical that you're asking me. Okay, well, I see you're interested to know what I know about werewolves. I guess I'll just tell you. And she gets really into it. And she's like, yeah, well, werewolves can pass along their curse, which is called lycanthropy. The mechanism is not well known. In fact, it's been redefined multiple times over multiple years. One might say there are different editions of lycanthropy. Anyway, but I couldn't say exactly how it transfers. But if you start feeling unusually hot and bothered under the full moon, it is possible that you have contracted either lycanthropy or you're just very, very, very horny. She says, so you couldn't very, very druidic way.
So if we found someone who has gotten bit by a dire wolf, we wouldn't be able to take them to you and be like, hey, could you see if this was a werewolf, or if they just got really unlucky with a dire wolf?
Well, the curse typically doesn't manifest until the next full moon, and that is 4 days hence. Author's note. Oh shit, I really should have checked the calendar. 4 days hence, I said, Warlewind says. And you will definitely know by then. In the meantime, you could... Well, werewolves are very sensitive to silver. If you douse the wound in liquid silver, which would be very painful, you probably shouldn't do that, or you were to rub a silver piece or a silver knife along the wound, or if you were to stab the potential werewolf with a silver knife and some reaction were to happen, that might be telling. Oh, in fact, and she pulls out a silvered knife from her bag, and she says, I keep a number of these, for as I think I've told you before, I am something of a lycanthrope hunter. I am hunting the notorious vile Jowl Mesman, who slew one of our key members of our community many years ago.
Yes, that's how we knew to when we saw signs of wolves that perhaps we should ask you.
I put it in your head. Yes.
Yes.
I see. She is so distracted by how charming and forthright Sela has been that she is not making the obvious connection that you may have encountered a werewolf.
That's interesting. Is there any way we could borrow one of these daggers just while we are going
have that
through?
One. She just hands you.
Oh,
she just hands you that one.
Yes, Sela will just takes it carefully.
This would probably be like a short sword for a gnome, but for a human, it's just a dagger.
Are there any adverse reactions?
Author's note. That is straight up J.R. Tolkien, baby.
Are there any adverse reactions to just holding it?
No.
Okay, fantastic. And so Sela has plenty of spaces to store daggers, and so she, slides it in and is like, "Thank you so much." Again,
hand kind of comes on Sela's shoulder and very gently and in one like motion turns her 180 degrees and like leans her head in a little bit. Is like, is there a reason that we are dancing around the idea that you may be infected?
I would prefer that you be the one to stab me.
Okay.
I would just be a little more comfortable with that.
Over your shoulder, Warlewin has pulled out another silver dagger, and she's like, werewolf!
There's sort of a no, all right. Then I suppose there is one other thing. I just wanted to make sure that we are on the same page about whether or not we are divulging this information.
If she could have given me a clear yes or no by looking at the wound or doing some kind of spell, yes, I would have in an instant. But since the option is apparently to stab me, I'd rather go back to a room and maybe do that there. If that's all right with you.
I've been hanging around you all a little bit too long.
I just posted in the chat that the DC for asking for a friend is always 15.
Nailed it. Sela claps Kira on the shoulder. You're great, pal.
All right. Well, then let's suppose just one more question. And in
puts the knife away.
In the same like motion of like turning back around. Okay. Do you know if there is, or are you aware of any particular form of curing lycanthropy before it gets too bad? I am a healer, and I wanted to be certain if there is a way that in case we run into the future, you have told us of the dangers of Jaul.
Her face grows grave as you ask this question. Yeah. Alas, I have found no cure for lycanthropy other than a swift and merciful death.
Out of take this
in lycanthropes can live through most anything. I suspect that Jaul, who we chased to the cliff, did not perish when he fell to the sea. So that is why I have continued hunting him.
Is there...
You can see the gears start turning in her head.
Have you at any point looked for a way other than just stabbing them?
How do you mean?
You said
you mean
that...
shooting them? Yeah,
no.
You could do that too.
No, I mean, have you put forth effort into learning if there were other either magical or alchemical means of curing the lycanthropy?
Ooh, that's an idea.
That gives me about my answer, I think.
Sela gives Kira a significant look.
The only werewolf I know of who has haunted this land is Jaul Mesmin, a vicious monster of a murderous bastard, and were I in the same place as he for 30 seconds, I would fill him with stab wounds. Or
do not.
I could get an axe. That's a good idea.
Okay.
Thank you for giving me that idea. I'm going to commission an axe from Blades for Glades.
That's our Kira. It's brilliant, isn't she?
She sighs and sort of like gives a little bit of a bow at the waist. Well, your counsel is appreciated. We wanted to
Oh
be
yeah,
certain,
anytime. Happy
noting
now.
that you had said that there was worry with Jaul. Uh, we have not encountered anything of the sort just yet. Nothing that would be confirmed. I have not seen it. But if we find anything, as previously stated, we will be back here to show you.
I would be ever so grateful. And if you do...
Thank you for your help.
Yes, of course. If you do, remember, Jal Mesman is very dangerous and would definitely kill you without a moment's thought. I'm serious. I know this man, and he is awful, monstrous. He took shelter here at the Ring for a while to prevent the town from seeking their own justice. And I, to my great shame, gave him sanctuary. Never again will I trust such a vile, murderous monster.
For Sela, Kira gets a look in her eyes that you are probably familiar with, of when she is trying to look through words, through a person, as though it pierces through eyes and flesh into something a little bit deeper. She's going to put her hand on her shield. I'm going to cast guidance on myself. And I'm going to throw an insight at that. She seems to be taking this very personally. She's giving us one side of the story. Does she really believe that, or is that just anger and grief?
Sure, make check.
And also in response to that, it looks for a moment like Sela's gonna say something in response to that, but in this moment she just does not. Lets that moment pass. Because this might be a little personal for her too now. And that's, wow, I feel like maybe I can actually say something here.
All right, 5.
It's like one of those situations when the NPC is like, thieves! I hate thieves. If I ever saw a thief, I would definitely kill them. And you're like feeling at the stolen goods in your pocket, and you're like, yeah, I agree.
looks in the corner of your screen of the empathy, you know, of your infamy. You note that everything in about 2/3 of your inventory is stolen.
Yeah, that's right.
That is 22 insight.
Okay, you get an insight into Warlewin's character and her psyche, and sure enough, she's speaking from a place of genuine grief and anger and responsibility. She feels terrible for having sheltered this creature that slew someone important in town, many people in town, but especially a community leader in town. And she sheltered them because she thought it was her duty to do so. And he was not worthy of that duty in her mind. And she learned that only too late after the murders had already happened. And now she sees it as her responsibility to finish the job of bringing him to justice. It's coming from a good place. Like, it's not hateful or bigoted or anything. It's like, this is a terrible person and I should never have trusted him. And now I feel terrible about it. And I'm going to make amends by killing him.
She, like, her head slowly returns from the 45-degree angle, and she takes a few steps forward to close the distance, and will hover her hand by Warlewin's shoulder with a silent question of permission before making contact.
Lady Kira?
She
kind of like extends up on her toes to like touch her shoulder to your hand.
She kind of furrows her brow. Absolution is a tricky thing. Forgiveness is something that truly only you can give yourself. If it must always come at the cost of blood, for the desire to extend mercy, to extend good faith to someone who is sick, if it always comes with the cost of blood, you will always be trying to wash your hands of it.
Orlewin looks at you consideringly. Go ahead. Keep going.
It is right to hurt and to go over what has occurred, certainly. If you lay your sin upon this man and you slay him, you hope that his death absolves you. You have been the one to lay this sin on him. He has committed his own. He does not need to bear yours as well. You must forgive yourself for this.
Okay. Make a persuasion check, please.
Sick. 18 plus 3, 21.
Awesome.
Thank God I rolled.
No, that was a good performance. The better your performance, the lower the DC is going to be. All right. Basically, like, she looks at you, and at the start of the conversation, she was definitely like, "I'm gonna kill that asshole." No question. And now you seem to put some doubts in her head, because what she says is, absolution is the province of your God, not mine. But you have given me much to think on. Thank you.
She lets her hand fall back to her side and gives a courteous head tilt.
You will always be welcome in this place, Lady Kira.
I hope to keep it that way.
I value your counsel and your healing abilities. You hear the guy in the corner going, "Oh, yeah, okay. Oh."
He has been healed.
He got gored twice by the same boar, and he shot himself in the foot with his arrow. Not a great hunter. Anyway.
They do have 2 tusks, and you would also double over if stabbed.
I suppose. Maybe I'll listen to a story with a little bit more of a little more patience. Anyway.
She gives a warm nod and then gestures sort of towards you. Like, we have some business still in town.
We do.
Of course.
If we learn any more, whether in confirming or denying, we will tell you.
Okay. Great.
And
go with
we'll
Erastil's grace.
The name clicks, like, it's very clear that name locks in her head for a half second. And two gears make contact. But she holds on to them for a brief moment until she and Sela have gotten a little bit further away.
Once they are far enough out away from the stone circle as well to not necessarily be visible to the people in it anymore as well, Sela wordlessly unsheathes the silver dagger and holds it out to Kira hilt first. Not breaking stride.
Okay. She will take it. Room or out here?
Oh, I'd prefer not to have any witnesses, maybe in the room.
She quietly puts the dagger away and kind of squints to herself. Erastil. Josefina. Maybe a good place to check. And will kind of nod to herself as they head back towards town.
Okay. Is that it for that scene? Time for our break? Okay. We're gonna go to our break and get up, use the bathroom, get yourself refreshed on drinks. We'll see you all shortly. Thank you very much. Don't go away.
So happy to announce that is going to be Pathfinder Abomination Vaults, which will be our next novel. This one comes out in November. This one is going to feature the iconic wizard Ezrin and a band of locals, as opposed to a team of his usual iconic friends, who are going to delve deep beneath the ground, not in the vault lines, but in the Abomination vaults. So no confusion there whatsoever. It's just this use of the same word in the same month in two different products.
Different vaults. Both for my birthday.
They said we weren't allowed to do any more products with hell in the title, so we switched it up.
So we went back to vaults. Yep.
Yeah.
And we're back. All right. So the party has come back together. We have unsplit the party. The circumstances of the party unsplitting, however, are Ezrin and Maurizio. You were having some kind of conversation about something, maybe about teleportation runes that Maurizio saw in the dungeon and Ezrin was very interested in. And then you walked in on Kira just stabbing Sela. Just
I think
Sela's got the basin under to make sure we don't ruin the floor, but like the arm out, like as close to where I was bitten as possible. Probably good. Like just all right, got it.
Yeah, it's just like the quiet beat of like holding her arm, and then there's like clearly putting like the tip of a knife into it, and like she's frozen in place,
do it.
and eyes have flicked over to the door, and she has stopped moving because the door's open, and she's realizing the situation.
Is everything okay?
I can explain.
Just come in and close the door real quick.
Okay.
I move Ezrin bodily into the room and close the door behind him.
Okay, Kira.
I was like the moment that Sela's distracted, Kira's.
Ow!
Is this a
Wait, have we dropped our F-bomb yet?
Not yet. No.
Fuck!
There you go.
Good.
Why?
Went to go talk to Warlewin of the Druid Circle, and was trying to figure out if there was a particular way to check if somebody may have contracted lycanthropy, as you ran into 2 large wolves.
So yeah, werewolves can also just look like really big dire wolves. So and yeah, there's apparently no real way to tell until the full moon. Maybe there'll be an adverse reaction to silver. So
which is in 4 nights.
Yeah.
As she's done this, Kira's like turned the arm and is like watching for any reaction.
Ah, that stings.
And apparently introducing before it properly takes. Once it takes, it becomes obvious. But the apparently beforehand, the wound site might react to silver, and she handed us a silver dagger for it. Unfortunately,
I'm sorry.
Unfortunately, we had healed Sela up, so we needed to get to the proper wound site. So a coin wasn't going to do it.
I was really hoping she could just have cast a spell and been like, yay or nay. But the answer to that was no, so we took the silver dagger and came back. So, yeah.
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but fewer words, less anxiety. You could have just said, testing if she's a werewolf.
Certainly.
And
Would you like to not know in
you
the
see that
future?
he like is actually releasing a spell that he was holding because he was really not sure what was going on.
We're good. All stabbing has been consensual. How's it looking? Do we see? Is this normal? Is this normal?
God, how's it looking?
It looks like a wound. It doesn't look like it's
really?
like anything out of the ordinary.
Okay.
Unless Sela is one of those women who is like vaguely allergic to silver, and like gets like skin irritation from silver.
Yes, I'm gonna say that anyway.
Damn it.
Okay, so to be clear, I always kind of get a little red when I'm wearing silver jewelry, even since I was a kid. I had to learn to not steal silver.
That's what I'm talking about.
And then
So there's a little bit of skin irritation. What there is not necrotizing flesh or anything.
I don't know. Yeah.
Her eyes kind of goes like, that would have been nice to know before I did this. However,
Sorry.
Nothing is particularly changing color except for red and some slight hives. Yet you should tell people about allergies you may have when they're going to be stabbing it into your body.
I was just thinking so much about the lycanthropy thing. I kind of forgot about that. I've been so careful to not handle silver more than I have to since I was a kid. It just slipped my mind.
It could be psychosomatic,
I am assuming at this point that you would have a much more particular reaction as if you were to stab a true lycanthrope with silver. It inhibits their ability to heal. So it would probably be a little bit more than sort of turns the hand over and just like wraps a couple turns of a bandage around it. Hives.
Oh, it's just so much.
I turn to Mauricio and I say, you were right. This place is changing us.
But
a lot.
A little bit.
Okay, so we're not going to worry about this for a couple days, at least?
Yes, in about 4 days hence, we will know whether or not this means of checking was true, which will become more complicated if we end up having to properly fight a werewolf.
We should get more silver weapons.
Mauricio turns to Kira and rests her hand on Sela's shoulder and says, if she wolfs out, can she sleep at the foot of our bed?
It is a sex thing. I knew it was a sex thing. Okay. Do I
need
to leave?
It's a cozy, adorable wolf thing.
Sela, you have taken 1 point of piercing damage, by the way.
Brilliant.
There is a squint and at Mauricio, and she's trying desperately to figure out, is this a bit? Are you joking?
Make an insight check. Stone cold serious.
That's 17.
Okay.
Mauricio does that eye fluttering thing that she does when she's pretending more innocence than it's a bit.
Yeah.
But also, if you said yes.
She's just joking, unless
there's looking for a friend.
There's a brief moment and then kind of a tip of her head. If she wolfs out, I think that we will have our hands full of many other issues.
We're gonna have bigger problems.
Please, yeah. No offense.
There's a slight turn. She's finished closing up the wound. There's a slight turn of the wrist out, and then her hand paps Sela's bicep. We will have other problems.
Fair.
So silver weapons all around.
There's yes, hand taps shoulder and holy fire. I'm sorry.
Ezrin.
No, please.
I picture Ezrin in the back looking at his serpent-headed cane, which is already a silver-headed cane.
Excellent. You can just bap.
I've got True Strike. I can hit things with it.
Yep. Sure can.
So speaking of timelines.
Yes.
DM God, do I remember how long until the next time the beacon teleports a bunch of zombies in again?
Okay, so based on your assessment of the energies of the tower and your best guess as to how quickly they have been rebuilding over the last 4 or 5 days, you suspect that on day 30, the tower will be ready to fire again. Meaning
Okay.
that you have
Now at day what?
25. It is day 5 now. Meaning that you have 25 days left to stop the tower from firing again.
I'm glad it's not another 4 days, because this is going to be a real bad week if it was.
So, Kira, help me think through this. We have 25 days before the town is directly under threat again. But we also don't want to rush. How do we thread that needle?
Well, the primary thing that we must discover is the placement of the icons to open the door, because we don't want to be up against the wall and not have the tools. So we do still want to try and find the icons first. Using them immediately is might not necessarily be the wisest course of action, but we don't want the key to still be locked when we need to move.
Great.
You have did you do it already?
Yes.
Like points. All right. You have the lockpicks. Perfect.
Yes.
Were you able to get the book? Or
was I allowed to take the book with me or only to review it?
Yes, Morlabint is allowing you to take the book for the moment.
Yeah, so I would set the book sort of reverently, sort of on the table, and I would sort of gesture to Mauricio, inviting her to produce the lockpick.
I have art of the book, at least. I might have art of the lockpicks that I can find. Oh, yeah. Big book.
So we're halfway there.
So the two things that we need otherwise are the companion blade.
Yes.
Which the last
Carmen
is the last for Rajani. And we would need a Sefina's brooch, the hunter's brooch.
Doesn't the mayor have both of those, though?
They have
replicas
for sure.
Yes, but I think he also had the brooch and the sword, because it was a source between him and Carman, wasn't it?
He definitely has taken up within the mayoral hall is the companion blade. He utilized it in his after winning this most recent time.
Yeah.
And he mentioned this as a point of shame that he did rub it in his face. I did not know that he had the brooch, however. Are we certain? Because
I'm not 100% certain. I thought he mentioned that a replica was on display and the original was kept safe, but I'm actually not certain now.
I could potentially create certainty for us. Maybe. I have a thing. I could use magical means to potentially find the real ones. Maybe. I'm unsure if it'll work, because I've seen the replicas, so I know what they look like. And I think I could maybe use that knowledge to find the real one. Take about 10 minutes.
As if by locating an object.
Thresholds of truth and pages to the spell that he's talking about.
I think 10 minutes is well worth it. If it gives us a particular answer, yes or no. Well, if it gives us an answer yes, then great. We have no more for this. If it remains unclear afterwards, I have another avenue that has maybe just opened.
Well, let's test it. Let's see if I can do this. So I've never tried it. I understand the theory, but well, so we know the blade is in the village.
Yes.
And we know the replica is in the mayor's house. Do we think the real one is also in the mayor's house?
So we know. So the companion blade is in the mayor's house. The museum side, the museum holds the replica, but the museum holds the replica of each of them.
Oh, right. Sorry, as a player, I misremembered. I thought the museum was in the mayor's house.
Let me make a note.
Okay.
The museum is in the mayor's house, and it has replicas of all 4 items.
Yes.
The spell that is listed in the Thresholds of Truth, which is called Locate Object, requires you to describe or name an object that is familiar to you.
And that's what I'm saying. I've seen a replica, which means that I could describe it, but name the actual object. So it's like, maybe it'll work. But I think that if I try it on the blade, I don't know. If both blades are in the house, that may muddy the outcome.
But then we would know they're in the house.
You're having this discussion while he's doing the ritual, right? Because it's taking 10 minutes to do.
Yes.
He's setting all the candles up and everything.
Yes.
So, yes, we could look for the blade. We could also try and find the brooch itself. And if in trying to find the brooch, it only takes us to the museum replica, it gives us an idea of what's going on. And then perhaps then we check again for the blade and see if it splits, if the arcana does not necessarily show different shapes towards the replica or the real thing. But Kira kind of like tips her head and gets a smile just in the corner of her mouth. You have been trying for a very long time to pierce through falsehoods. I think that a simple replica would not be something to fool your magic.
Oh, no, it's not that I think the replica will fool it. It's whether the magic is sensitive enough to differentiate between where in the mayor's house it might be, because I've never done this. I don't know. It's not exactly like, well, I don't know. I'll just try it and see what happens. It's only 10 minutes. Let me just don't look. like really, like maybe turn around.
I can't do it while you're looking.
Anyway. Kira does like look at him for probably a good 5 seconds before crossing her legs and just rotating 180 degrees.
All right, Ezrin does the ritual.
Sula futzes with her bandage a bit. Clearly busy with that.
Ezrin, what do you seek?
I am seeking the original blade of the Rose Guard.
What is it called?
The companion blade.
Okay. What does it look like?
I describe the replica that I have seen.
Okay, make an intelligence check.
Straight intelligence?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I got a 21.
Nice.
That seems decent.
All right.
Rolled an 18.
Sure enough, the ritual takes hold. You feel the wind swirling around you, which there is no wind. You're inside. Why would there be wind? But like reality is shifting slightly, and you can sense something drawing you up the hill.
And I just kind of go, oh, it's like that. I guess I was imagining an image.
It's more like the closest you can connect it is that it is a scent. Like you are scenting something on the wind. It smells very strongly up the hill, but it's not scent. It's not appealing to that sense. It's appealing to a 6th or a 7th or an 8th sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think I know where it is, but we'd have to go there. And someone else is going to need to do the talking.
We should probably all stick together. So
Yeah.
let us go, and because once we go there and we are able to confirm whether this is true or not, it is likely to inform our next decision. So better to be together.
Okay.
The mayor liked Sela. He may just give them to her.
All right.
We could just ask, but yeah, Eswin seemed like he was having fun with this, so.
So there are basically 2 ways out of the little box canyon that Otari is in. If you want to picture it from, like, not from a bird's eye view, but from the side, it is essentially like there is a gap in the rock walls of the coastline, and Otari is inside that gap. And then there's like a little path that leads up, and there are also the scaffolding stairs that lead up to the graveyard, which are damaged from the deadfall of Otari. So crews are still repairing that, but that's not the direction you need to go anyway. You head up the path and you end up at the Menemez Manor, which is where Mayor Menemez oversees Otari, literally and figuratively. The east wing, I think, of the manor is a museum to Otari's history, to the Rose Guard, to their exploits. There's actually an artist rendering of the 4 Rose Guard fighting Belcora, who is like this menacing witch hag creature, which does not match the portrait that you actually saw of her, where she looked like just kind of a stuffy noblewoman with blonde hair who like had a bad attitude. But like in this image, she is a monster, right? And she is clearly like the Wicked Witch of Otari. And in that image, in that mural, you can see that there is the one statuesque warrior woman with the dark skin who has this blade in her hands, right? There's the priestess, similarly dark-skinned priestess, who is holding up a symbol that looks like a bow with like a star behind it. There is the thief Otari, who is down on one knee holding these lockpicks, which you might not have understood what those were from just seeing the mural, but now that you actually have the lockpicks, they look surprisingly like it, except that they are radiant glowing rather than dark and shadowy, right? And then there is the 4th member of the Rose Guard, Zarmavdian, cloaked figure, body completely concealed in a cloak, holding this book, right, which is also glowing. They look like holy sigils, like they have like the radiant halo sort of effect that you see in Renaissance paintings, right?
Massive gender envy.
This mural is
Don't you dare perceive me.
New. Over the last few days, Mayor Menemez has had this mural painted, and you can see that there are people working on it right now. And the mayor is actually standing there. I think I have art of the mayor. Let me just toss him up there. Okay.
I'm realizing that I made a boo-boo on the name of the blade.
Oh, you did?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you did? Mayor Menemez, bold, tall, dark-skinned, played in this campaign by
Keith David.
Keith David.
Perfect. Ah, yes, there you are. Heroes, welcome back. Welcome. What have you come for? How can I help?
Good to see you. How is this new? This is new, right?
Do you like it?
It's impressive.
The town was divided upon how best to honor the Rose Guard and their sacrifice. And they decided on this compromise solution. You understand. Politics. and such. What can I do for you?
We actually had some questions about the Rose Guard and some of their what is it, the iconic objects of them, and we thought you would be the best person to ask.
Of course, of course.
If you have the time, of course.
What happened to you, my dear? You look. Oh,
Oh,
you've taken some wounds in the ruins. Yes.
oh yes, but it's nothing to worry about.
I hope so.
That is what we professional adventurers do.
Well, you do have a capable healer with you, Lady Kira. He bows to you slightly. I can't do a Keith David impression. This is the best I can do.
Okay. I'm imagining Keith David saying the words coming out of your mouth, and it's very funny.
Oh, very funny.
But there is a moment where she gives a little nod of her head and chooses in the moment to hold on to the idea that's like, Sela certainly can heal herself. And looking over to Ezrin, her face falls slightly. It's like, can this be a little bit of a walk and talk? Are you busy?
No, please, come.
And she tips her head towards Ezrin, like, lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ezrin is like visibly fidgeting because whatever pull this is he's feeling, he's just like, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, trying to not make it obvious that Ezrin is leading us, but just walk and talk. We.
So Ezrin would make a show.
This was really funny. Rumpus in the chat was like, what happened to you? Were your eyebrows always that bushy?
My, what big eyes you have, Sela.
All right. Ezrin
would intentionally make a show of sort of like inspecting things like the painting and sort of generally trying to like do nerd cover of like inspecting things, but would do his best to be making progress in the direction that he's being pulled.
The rendition of Belcora Haravex is really unsettling. Like, she's this tall, like, looming figure, right? With, like, fingers that are longer than their arms, right? Yeah.
Like on the cover of the adventure?
Yeah. Exactly.
Just asking.
Yeah. It gives you some unpleasant memories of when you connected with her mentally. Yeah. And then you realize the mayor is looking at you, Ezrin, like waiting for you to say something. Did you have something, Sir Wizard?
I have something. What do you mean?
A question? You seem to be pensive? I find that folk who have questions have a certain look about them. Curiosity.
Question
Please,
to you,
let me help you. Yes.
Question to you, DM. I know we've been here before. We've been in the museum. I think we were also invited to the non-museum part of the house at one point, weren't we? Like I'm basically trying to be like, am I being pulled toward? Am I being pulled towards the museum or pulled somewhere else?
Oh, since you said let's do a walk and talk, he just started taking you around the museum. Like that's what he's accustomed to, just showing people around.
Okay, and
even though you have already seen the museum.
And in the museum, am I being pulled towards the replica or somewhere else?
Yes, from the spell, you mean? Yes. It is pulling you toward the replica, yes.
Just going to say that's
the spell is doing its job.
That's like ADHD hatred that you made me, the human, remember the name of the item. That was all I'm saying, because Ezrin would have remembered it.
It was mostly the description, actually. Okay. So you get to it, and sure enough, there is a sign that says "Cooperative Blade," and you're like,
Yeah, and be like, and I imagine that once I get there, that pull would just sort of resolve.
Yes, it is. You have located the object. You see, like a little window that appears in front of you. Object found. Beep.
And I would shoot
freaking Clippy.
I would shoot a look to Sela and just give the slightest of like.
So you have the replicas on display. I remember you telling us that, and I'm sorry, we've had a busy few days.
Of course.
the original thieves' tools were lost of Otari. Morlabent had the tome.
The Thresholds of Truth, you mean?
Yes.
Yes.
You had the blade. Did you have the original brooch as well? Obviously not on display. It's far too important to put it on display. But did you also have the original of the brooch as well?
Oh, why would you ask? He looks a little bit suspicious. Make a persuasion check.
Okay.
I think there's definitely the beautiful. He stops and watches, and like, there's a half beat of as you've gotten to know Kira more, that she has about a half second where her real response shows in her eyebrows, and then the measured one comes after. The very
21.
the very first response is something to the effect of, "Dude, we have been doing nothing but helping you this whole time. Why would okay?" And then goes to be helpful.
Yeah. So, like, anger started to get the better of Kira, but she held it in check. Okay. Yes. You got a 21. Okay.
Yep. Sealer reached out, just pat Kira's arm.
Apologies for my suspicion. Oh, moment. Mark Moreland from Paizo is in the chat. Mark is the editor of the novel line, who I wrote the book for. Good to see you, Mark. Yes, I am glad that I'm finally able to talk about the novel. It is episode 20 of the stream, and I am now finally able to reveal that I am playing the adventure path that I wrote the novelization for. This adventure will be nothing like the novel. Don't worry. It is a very different journey through it, except that Ezrin is also in the novel, which you know from the podcast. Sorry, I keep saying podcast, but it was a Twitch cast. Okay.
So there's not going to be any. Just stab me and see if I got lycanthropy. There's not going to be any of that. Well,
probably not, but we'll see. I will say that I did write the novel based on the Pathfinder adventure path rather than the D&D 5e version. So you will notice that there are some differences. If you are a mega fan and you spot some differences, some of which are highlighted by author's notes that I do on the stream, let me know, and I will shout out your notification on the stream. Oh my god, what have I opened myself up to? Okay, so
dude,
the mayor says
that persuasion check.
I'm sorry. Forgive my wariness. Carman Rajani has been seeking to acquire the cooperative blade for years now. He considers it his family birthright, and if I am being honest, it is. He has just proven extremely irresponsible with all objects, much less sacred relics to the town.
Fair. I've seen him throw knives. You're not wrong.
Oh, you have at the at the Osprey Club. Yes. Yes, it is. Well, we're happy to tolerate their shenanigans in Otari, as long as they pose no great threat. It is an open secret, as I'm sure you know.
You're becoming distracted, my lord.
Ah, yes, you were asking about the icons. No, all 4 of these are replicas, of course. The thieves' tools were indeed lost when Otari fell and was lost in the bowels beneath Belcora's tower. The cooperative blade, that is not the true cooperative blade. The true blade hangs in the Dawnflower Library, where it is protected by the initiates of Sarenrae. The Thresholds of Truth, Morlabent at the Odd Stories is protecting that by special commission with the town council. The brooch, owned by my own ancestor, Asafna Menemes, is kept here at the manor in a safe place. It is my own personal birthright heritage, and that of my daughter, of course.
Of course.
Why do you ask? Do you wish to see the original? Would that help you with your investigations?
Would you allow us that, sir? I understand this is a very important object, and I would respect if that's not something that you would feel comfortable with.
He considers for a second. He says, well, you didn't bring that scruffy barbarian with you. I suppose it's safe enough. Mary makes enemies everywhere she goes. Okay. Of course, please come with me. I shall get us tea and stronger drink if you prefer. Sure enough, he leads you up the stairs into the main manor, which is the living space, and to his sitting room. Along the way, those of you with a decent passive perception score, 13 or higher, you notice a little dark face looking out at you from around a corner. That's Doriana, his daughter. But she goes back to hiding before you can, overtake her. So Maurizio, I'm pretty sure you noticed her, and I'm pretty sure Kira probably noticed her as well. I don't know about Ezrin. What's your passive perception, Ezrin?
You said 13. I didn't notice her.
Oh, you didn't notice?
It's weird.
Okay.
Nice try.
It's
just Kira.
me.
It's just Kira. Okay.
Only Kira.
I only have a +1 to perception, but I have advantage on site-based perception checks, so it doesn't pass muster.
There's definitely the being slowly watched, and then just while the group is going, just Kira's head turns. Holds eye contact for a couple of seconds.
I would say if there's an opportunity to surreptitiously sort of whisper to Sela while we're walking, I would sort of share an idea of I could just tell him and show him Otari. We could just tell him the truth. But I don't know.
I was considering telling him the truth as well.
I could produce a little illusion of Atari if it helps.
We should be honest.
Okay. Kira, do you want to convey something to Doriana? Give her a loaded look, or convey some sort of message to her, maybe using your sign language that you know?
I think there is there's a moment where she slows down and she moves like she's adjusting adjusting cloth just to fall kind of behind people before making a very subtle come, follow, watch us.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and roll a persuasion check, Kira? Okay. As she's doing that, the rest of you, Mayor Menemez, Osef is his name, leads you into the sitting room. And sure enough, the servants have poured tea in multiple little cups for you. And there's also a sideboard with some very colorful liquors in a couple of decanters. And he says, please, help yourself. You are heroes of Atari, having saved us from the deadfall and looking into the darkness beneath that tower. So I'm grateful to you for your efforts. You wish to see the token? Allow me one moment. And then he goes behind his desk, which is over behind. Now, it is unclear to me whether Galarian has pianos or harpsichords or something like that, but it's like a large musical instrument that is the equivalent. Okay. Now, Fable, what did you get on your persuasion check?
14.
14. Okay. You are okay. Mark in the chat you could tell that I was asking Mark because he's right there. He's like, yes, Galarian has pianos. Okay, cool. So yes, Mayor Menemez ducks behind a piano, and he produces a black box. Now, I want to say that this box isn't just black wood. It is so black. It is like he is holding a little 12-inch by 12-inch by 12-inch square cube of darkness. And he slowly removes the lid, and he in the group chat, Gabrielle just posted, he's holding the Spinal Tap album, and I just wanted everyone to appreciate that.
It could be none more black.
he produces the holy symbol that you recognize as Sefna's hunter's brooch, and I will put that art there for everyone to see. It looks like a stag with a bow that looks kind of like a crescent. That, for those of you who have made the appropriate religion check, is the holy symbol of Erastil, or at least a holy symbol of Erastil. The Elk Lord has many different symbols depending on the aspect in which he is worshipped. That is a symbol that was popular 500 years ago, right?
Does it look especially familiar from Sela's dreams too?
Yes, you have definitely seen that in your dreams. You have held that in your dreams. You have placed your faith in that symbol in your dreams. He says, this is my most valuable family relic. The symbol of my ancient ancestor, Sefna Menemez. And he holds it out to Sela.
May I hold it?
Please.
Is it silver?
We're gonna find
out. Is, baby.
Oh yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel spicy to everyone else.
Okay.
It goes with the power of religion.
Yeah.
All right, you take it. It feels normal. Doesn't hurt you.
I mean, it does kind of.
I mean, the longer you hold it, the more your skin feels uncomfortable.
A little itchy, but
a little itchy.
The normal.
Apparently,
like when I stole silvers as a kid.
When a priest of Erastil, or possibly someone who can channel any sort of divine magic, uses this symbol, they can call upon Erastil's will to slay evil creatures. That is what the legend says. Myself, I am not an adventurer and not a particularly holy man, but I do appreciate the legends, and I do appreciate the faiths of our town.
Sela runs her fingers along the curves, just remembering what this felt like to touch in the dream and how similar it is.
Though the object is 500 years old, it feels sharp and new and sleek and clean.
If you would not mind, if our just gesturing palm up towards Ezra and Master Arcanist could perhaps look through the weave of it, unlock some of its truths, this may become quite integral to us solving the issue of the Gauntlet and of Belcora Haravex.
I promise it wouldn't damage it. I wouldn't even have to touch it. But if I could just get 10 minutes.
Of course. Can I remain in the room, or would that?
Yeah,
so.
Oh, yeah.
Then I shall watch.
So he can watch, but we couldn't watch.
If you don't mind,
this ritual before, okay?
And he goes over and pours himself like 3 fingers of whiskey.
Yeah.
Oh, dinner and a show.
That sounds real good right now.
Yeah. So I would take the 10 minutes to cast Identify.
Okay. All right. 1 second. Let me just. I gotta get back to the module.
I'm just still thinking back to getting the name of the sword dog. I'm glad that I don't watch this chat, because I'm sure that people were just like that.
Okay.
No.
No.
Okay, great.
All right. You cast Identify on the brooch.
Yes.
Sure enough, Hunter's brooch seems to be the thing to call it, or hunter's brooch. I know people pronounce that word differently. While wearing the silver holy symbol of Erastiel, you can cast Sacred Flame as a cantrip. As a magic action, you can touch the brooch to a weapon you're holding and utter a plea for Erastiel's steadying hand to bless the weapon. The next time you score a critical hit with the blessed weapon, the weapon deals an additional 1d12 radiant damage or 2d12 radiant damage if the target is undead. This extra damage isn't doubled. The blessing ends after 1 minute when the blessing activates or until you are no longer holding the weapon. Until you use the brooch to bless a weapon, it can't be used. Once you use the brooch to bless a weapon, sorry, tongue twister, it can't be used again this way until the following dawn. So basically, you can use it to summon Sacred Flame. You can also use it to bless a weapon that causes it to inflict extra radiant damage on a critical hit. Once per day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Convey that to the room in
That
a
won't
way
come in
that
handy at all.
Yeah, so I'd be like, your legends about it were true.
Yes. Family lore says that this brooch was used to strike down Belcora herself in retribution after the death of Otaria Vashti.
Well, and I would look to Sela.
Yeah, Sela's kind of gonna like vibe checking the group to be like, okay, are we all on the same page about telling him the truth about everything?
Yeah.
Kira, with your sharp senses, you think that someone is at the door listening.
We do. We have reason to believe that there are wards within the gauntlet that we may need to get through, and the things that are sealing those wards in place are in fact the legendary items of the Rose Guard.
I see.
And using them may be the only way to get through them. We still have not yet found these wards, and we are still investigating further, but in the future we may need to come asking if there would be any way we could borrow this. We would not take it now or even ask for such a thing now, as we are still investigating.
Understood.
But we wanted you to be aware.
If you had asked now, I would have declined because you had not found these wards.
Exactly. We don't want to risk it getting lost.
Indeed. This is such a precious treasure, and I appreciate you saying so. I think that we share a similar mind on this issue, and I admire your honesty.
Thank you. She hands the brooch back to him.
Okay, he puts it back in the black box and slides it closed. For some reason, when that lid is closed, it feels like nothing in the box exists. Like it is that secure.
When he goes and sets it, I think there is a look of perhaps the consternation goes inward. It's somewhat difficult to tell. But she does move her fingers to get Mauricio's attention, then quietly signs, "Watch where he puts it."
And Mauricio signs back, "Of course."
I like this Kira. She's good, but she's pragmatic as well.
I think Mauricio would be able to tell pretty immediately that she doesn't like even the insinuation of what she's suggesting.
Okay.
But
Sela is pointedly not watching her party. She is looking directly at the mayor and talking only to him.
Okay, Mauricio, make
whatever the party is doing is
check,
not her
please.
business.
Perception check. All right. We are going to use our Phoenix dice.
Author's note. The adaptation of this particular security measure is definitely lessened in the version of the story that you were reading now, my editor was confused about the mechanism of the black box. However, I have added the black box. You will not find it in the conventional 5e adventure path.
That would be a 19.
Okay. He seems to be putting the black box in the piano.
Classic.
Yeah. Well, he comes back. Is there anything else? If not, I believe my daughter is up and about, and I would like to check on her if there's no other questions.
That was all. Thank you so much for your time.
I have one more. Kira says, being knowing that that's giving specifically Delphine a chance to skedaddle, to be a non-suspicious amount of distance from this. I also want to ensure that you understand, with the gravity of what we said, that this would include requests not only of you and your family line, as this puts at risk the hunter's brooch, but it would also mean that the cooperative blade, and
yes,
we will need to speak with Morlebent regarding the spell book. We will have to bring all of these together, but I want to ensure, because we will have to speak with you of the sword. By the same metric that we follow the bloodline of Esfina, we will follow the bloodline of Volrejani in the request of this permission.
You have been honest with me, and I appreciate your straightforwardness. Truly, if you are indeed Pathfinders, the Society is well honored to have you among its ranks. And he looks at Ezrin specifically. Ezrin, whose like entire self screams Pathfinder.
It does.
You hear...
Speaking of screaming, Ezrin is sort of visibly sort of like has no idea whether or not he should speak up or not right now, and is sort of like glancing at Kira and CeeLo, just begging for a sign.
You all of you hear a little like intake of breath and like a squeak of like a floorboard, and you see briefly Doriana's face at the door where she's been listening in, and then she
did
disappears.
Not pass a stealth check.
No, she flunked her stealth check.
Nice.
And Mayor Menemez sees her and is like, "Excuse me," and then he heads out.
Yeah. He seems extremely reluctant to part with this, so I thought it best that we not give any type of pressure on him whatsoever. As we approach, or when we find the wards or something, then we can make it a bit more dire, but for now...
I should give the book back, because he could go and talk, and then if it's like, no, I gave the book to the wizard, I need to go give the book back.
It also may just be wise to ensure that when we, at the very least, it needs to go back before we would venture back in. I don't want to imagine.
Yeah.
This could fall into the hands of Belcora every time we walk back into the space with it. And we know that this space is meant to twist our perceptions of one another. All it would take is a moment's misunderstanding and passing off of the icon to hold, and suddenly, if this disappears, we must be very careful when we are walking around with the keys.
Kira, I was just worried about it being dropped in one of those swampy areas. Dang, I didn't even think of that.
I have been having difficulty not thinking of it.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry, I've got it. No, we don't have to worry about that anymore. And then he like cast prestidigitation on Sela, and any dried blood on your bandage, just be like, we will be clean and sweet smelling for all days. You're welcome.
Thank you, Ezrin.
Not quite the point, but thank you.
On that note, party reunited and having a sort of clear goal. I think that's a good place for us to stop for tonight. We went a little past time, but I think it was worth it. So thank you all for hanging with us. I've been Eric Scott DB, DM of this campaign, and others on the channel. Come join the Discord, and we talk about this campaign and others. I have the codex entries for this campaign that are available. If you get the Dungeon Scrawlers roll, that should show up for you, no problem. If you would like to keep up with things that I'm doing, read my book, which comes out in November, about this adventure path.
Or any of his other books.
Vaults, or any of my other books. You can see some of them on the shelf behind me.
I really like his superheroes.
Yes, Kels has drawn a couple of covers for me, and she created one of the characters who is a significant character in my superhero novel. So thank you, Kelsey. Also, I am going to Nepal in May. This is totally unrelated, to help deliver medical care to people in rural communities who don't usually get the opportunity to get medical care. And you can contribute to my trip if you like. I'm writing a story about my experiences, and it will be exclusively available to people who support my journey. Thank you so much. Take it away, Gabrielle.
Hi, I'm Gabrielle Harboe. I've been Marie Seal, the rogue. Come and join me on Patreon, !Gabrielle, to get my Patreon link. You can follow for free for exclusive content. Subscriptions start at $3, and for $25, you can get one-on-one writing coaching once a month. Pretty good deal. And that's me. And take it away, Kelsey.
I've been Kels. I've been your iconic cleric, Sela, who may or may not be a werewolf. This may turn into a very different story. You can check out my art on Instagram by putting !Kels into the chat. That should give you a link. Yeah, that's it. Take it away, Ben.
Hello, I've been Benjamin Williams. I've played your iconic wizard Ezrin, who iconically failed his first ritual of Identify. That's all right. But yeah, please support these wonderful humans and the creative work that they do. And if any of you know Brian Jordan Alvarez on YouTube, Eric's Read My Book, had sign up for my class energy. And if you know, you know. With that, I'll pass it off to Fable.
Hello, I have been Fable. I have been your iconic cleric Kira. The hero's journey was settled in, usually put into the 17th-stage monomyth by Joseph Campbell, and one of the important beats of this is when split, and at about stage 5 is crossing the threshold. It's learning, and for us would have been entering into the gauntlet, and more importantly, into the dungeon below, seeing how this changes. Now, we've started to run into tests, allies, and enemies. We have begun to approach into the innermost cave as all of us are forced to grapple with the changes within us. We still have an ordeal, and we still have a sword to seize. And a book, and a brooch. But there will still be, once we're done with that, a road to return. That side of the journey feels so far away already. If you have these sorts of, if you like this kind of writing advice, conversations, and deep dives into narrative storytelling and the like, feel free to check out my Ko-Fi. I have a Patreon coming out probably about this weekend. I ran into some issues with that initially, but it should be up by this weekend. If you throw in the into the chat, also !Dystopia, you can check out the LARP that I helped run. Specifically, if you're in the Texas chapter, you could check out anybody's chapter. A lot of different states have them, but mine is the best. And you should see what kind of story that we can tell together. As well, keep an eye out. If you haven't joined the Discord, you should join the Discord. There might be some stuff coming out somewhat recently about, I don't know, a question about getting me somewhere, and then maybe a little treat if you do. And so keep an eye out for that. And there might be more news about that next week. But until then, I'll pass it back to you, Eric, for our sign off.
Very good. Brief, quick shout out to Mark Moreland in the chat. We have a regular thank you on our credits for Mark, who is again the head of novels at Paizo, who hired me to write the novelization of Abomination Vaults. And hopefully I did him proud, and hopefully you are all going to enjoy. But it's good having you, Mark. Thanks for supporting the stream. And thank you all for coming along with us. Great to spend time with you. See you next week.
Next week.